What's going on, you guys? How is everyone today? What's going on? I want to start off by congratulating everyone who has participated in our visibility sprint. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about you guys getting in there because this is visibility month. And honestly, these challenges are so fun. Just because a lot of times you know the things that you're supposed to do, but it's the execution part. It's the actually knowing how to do it part, right? So having someone lay out what you're supposed to be doing and then giving you like daily prompts on how to do it, but then also encouraging you guys not just to make the content, but also engage with each other. That's a really big thing as well, because this isn't social media is not a bulletin board where you just post about yourself and you want everyone to just look at you, right? If you want engagement, you have to engage. If you want connection, you have to give them opportunities to connect. And so that's what we're doing. It's about consistency. It's not about perfection. And it's about just visibility, right? You miss every shot that you don't take. So David is in there. What's going on, David? One of our faithfuls. Amy has started posting, went live last night. Honey Gold Jasmine has posted. Ariana Mary has posted. Um, let's see. We also have Marcella. I know Marcella joined and she's like, apologies, I'm on UK time. So she was like a day behind. Amy going live last night at like midnight her time. It literally, it's like she posted and it was like 9 p.m. But 660 views. Listen, the doom scrollers need some music. The doom scrollers need to be serenaded at night because they were there for it. They said, "Put me to sleep, Amy, please." Like, so that's awesome. Um, and even if you didn't get that many views and everything, like still go live when you can. It's not about like the perfect time when all your followers are on, all of that, because guess what? If all of your followers are on, a bunch of other people's followers are on too. So it's about you doing the things. It's not showing up perfectly, it's showing up consistently and for a goal. And our main focus right now is visibility, right? We're not trying to do everything all at once because baby, if you try to chase every trend, if you try to chase every new thing, you're not doing anything consistently. So nothing is going to work because you're always trying new stuff. And it's social media will make you feel like you are always behind. It'll make you feel like there's always something new, always a new way, right? And it's like, dang, I haven't even started going live yet. I haven't even, posted consistently about my music. I had a one-on-one session with Honey Gold Jasmine yesterday, and she was like, I'm so Bay Area famous, where it's like I walk around in the Bay Area or in Oakland and people know me and they always talk about my music and everything. But she's like, that's not translating to my streams. She's like, it's making me want to give up music because it's like, but she was like, I can't give up if I've never released a song with a release plan. If I've never, like if I've never actually tried to do this the right way and I'm giving up before even putting my best foot forward, that's how the corpos win, y'all. That's how all of the grubby, money hungry people sitting at the top of the labels who want you to quit because this is really hard and you will get burnt out. That's how they win. So congrats to everyone participating. Super excited. I love seeing all of you guys and rooting you guys on. For those of you who don't know, all of the events are in like our events and reminders chat in the Discord. It's also on the homepage as well for the website. And so this is what the events page looks like. So it's every month you can and it's like all of my past events and everything are on here. When some of you guys joined, I had people like RSVPing for past events. I was like, y'all, it's over. It's not don't go there. Don't RSVP for that. We're not going back. But I post this at the end of every month or at the top of every month so that you know like the upcoming events that we have so that you can RSVP. But let me know, does it send you guys reminders? Does it send you guys the Zoom link to come here? I'm seeing some head nods.
Yes.
Okay. It does. Okay, perfect. Because I'm trying, listen, everywhere I can. I'm like, let me, where can I send the invite? Let me make sure people can RSVP. So good. Happy that it's reaching y'all. And then happy that you guys are participating in our little visibility sprint. So I want you guys to learn how to develop as an artist through these music marketing strategies, you know? Visibility and awareness is a big thing. It's not everything, but it is a big thing. So, today, what we are going to talk about is we're going to talk about doubling down on what works. Sorry. We're going to talk about doubling down on what works. So, this is really about turning like data and wins into repeatable moments. Um, Chat, be honest. When you guys hear the word analytics, what's the first feeling or thought that comes to mind? Be honest. You can unmute or you can drop it in the chat. Let me know.
Engagement.
Engagement, homework, hate it, dread, annoying. Yeah, honestly, analytics, it feels like a taboo word. It feels like, even I'm happy that I didn't even have to tell y'all to keep it real because like reality. Nisha said reality. Oh my goodness, you guys, Nisha is a new Inner Circle insider. My bad. Boo, I don't know if you are on camera, but if you want to unmute yourself and say what's up and wave to the people, that's usually what I do for new members.
Hi everyone, I'm Nisha. I'm super excited to really just push myself to go forward with music and marketing and just really figuring out what works for me and how I can find my people. And so I'm so excited to join this community because I know all of us are trying as best as we can to get there, and seeing you guys push is making me push 10 times harder. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Love it. And Nisha, so do you manage artists and you're an artist yourself, or are you just a music artist?
So I'm just a music artist. Not into management right now. I'm not saying that later on maybe I'll get that little spark to manage. But as of right now, I want to figure out what works for me when it comes to music. So I mainly do soul music, R&B, a dab of R&B, but
Mhm.
mainly soul. So that's what I'm into right now.
Okay, love it. Um, Cool. Love that. Happy to have you. Welcome to our inner circle, trying to be a little family tree and connect with the indie artist community. Literally, my dream has always been just to help music artists. And I don't know how much you know about me, but I come from corporate music. And when I realized that my life in corporate music was just going to be me working for a bunch of artists who don't care about strategy, who don't appreciate, they don't care about logistics or anything either. Like, it's kind of like how Honey Gold Jasmine was like, I just want to put the art out and then close my eyes. I think that's majority of artists, but it's worse when you work for a company. You can't select the artists. They don't appreciate you. You're not getting paid what you should be. And so I was like, let me just start my own company where I can take everything that I have learned in corporate artist management for big artists like Wiz Khalifa, Doja Cat, and all of them, and help these independent artists who really have no clue what they're doing, don't even know if they're doing it well, all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been doing for like the past 4 years. And this ICI is a new thing. I just started doing this since April. So you guys are really getting in on the ground floor of something that is going to be amazing, only going to grow. So happy to have you in here. But back to what we were talking about, which is analytics. Something that can feel scary, but really is one of your biggest superpowers. And I know, I know a lot of you guys might be rolling your eyes. Some of you said you liked it. You know, we got a few Aquariuses in here who like the analytics. But hear me out. Analytics, they're really not about making you feel bad or about what didn't work, but they're about showing you what's already working so you can do more of it. Instead of constantly feeling like you're behind, you have to try new things, nothing that you're doing is working, et cetera, which is a trap that I see a lot of artists get in. And then y'all start to become content creators because social media people, they're teaching people how to be influencers and build personal brands, but they're not teaching music artists how to build a community and connect with them so that you can build trust and have them support your music career, right? Like they're just out here doing anything. So let's have a mindset reframe and let's not think of analytics as the enemy, but let's think of analytics as like proof of what's working, right? Like let's try to reframe it and look at it in that way. So, instead of chasing new strategies every week, let's double down on what's already connecting with people. So, does anybody have an example of a video that you almost didn't post or that you did post and surprisingly did well, surprisingly took off, surprisingly, you were just keeping your head down doing anything, and this video that you almost didn't post or that you didn't really think anything about uh quietly keeps bringing in saves, keeps bringing in DMs, is like a slow burner. Does anybody have any examples of content like that has worked like that for them? Yes, that happens to me. Kat, are you able to share even like a if you're not able to share your screen, if you're able to share like a link to your to a post that did that, just as an example so I could share with the class, that'd be great. But that is something that happens, and that's why it's important to be consistent because even if something doesn't take off right away, if you're posting with intentionality, like, okay, the purpose of this post was to create conversation. The purpose of this post was to, invite people to connect with me, and it doesn't take off right away. And then you're like, why is this post like building traction and why do I keep seeing this in my top 10 posts all the time, right? Robin, ooh, please unmute and share.
Hi, hello. Good morning, afternoon, everybody. I have two examples. For those of you who don't know, I was at a time on RuPaul's Drag Race. And a thing that the fans do all the time is like to like compare us to each other. Sometimes in a microaggressive way. So I get compared to many of the light-skinned drag queens that are in the pretty category, and some of them a lot of them we do not look alike. So to create a conversation around that, I did like very haphazardly, just with the green screen background, film myself being like, here's who y'all think I look like. And then
Hmm.
put pictures and stuff of them and like talked about them a little bit, which I didn't think would, and again, it's not like the most viral thing in the world, but for my page, it definitely was a really well performing video, which also had people being like, "Oh, I think you look like this person. I think you look like this person," which was kind of annoying. But it
The whole point of the video is being like, I'm not like any of these people, only for them to start listing out others.
Yeah. But hey, engagement is engagement. And then
Mhm.
the other example is a while ago I did like a mini show where I was live singing. And one of the last ones that I posted also did higher numbers in comparison to the rest of my page, but that one was also a consistency thing. I had posted like three or four singing videos prior, and then the last one really helped. So yeah.
Yeah. Love it. I think there's a huge lesson, definitely in the last one. Like the first one, of course, baby, you like that, you know what I'm saying? But even the first one, that's a visibility post, right? It's not only a visibility post that is like, getting you on other people's pages, borrowing audience from the other drag queens and things like that. It's also offering engagement. It's also a place for people to connect and start conversation, even if the conversation is them talking about exactly what you talked about in the video, it's still it's great, it introduces you to so many people that might not have seen you, that didn't see your season and all of that. And then the second post, that is really towards, yes, you do have this career of being a drag queen, but you are a singer and a music artist and you're actually really talented. And so a lot of drag queens, they lip sync, right? Like they don't always know how to sing themselves. um and so you posting about your music, it's like, I know y'all might have came here for the drag things, but we're not going to stop talking about the talent, And then the last one taking off, it's like, it connects. It connects, but you have to keep showing up. You have to keep making the offer, because every video isn't going to hit the first time. So if you posted one video of you singing and you were like, okay, nobody fucked with that, like I'm never posting that again, then you wouldn't have gotten the fourth one that hit and that connected, where it's like, okay, let's stay together. That was the singing video I saw of you. You were singing Al Green. I said, okay. But yeah, that's a good one. And then I asked Kat to share an example. Oh wait, sorry, that just started playing out loud. My bad, y'all. Let me show you guys the example that she shared. So she's like, I do these all the time, and I don't know why this one randomly blew up. So this is from June. That was our last challenge, actually. That was our 30-day content challenge. But it's just like a video swipe post. Hey strangers, soon to be friends. My name is Kat. If you vibe with this song for 30 seconds, that'd be lovely, blah, blah, blah. 17,000 likes, over 3,800 comments. My bad, y'all. The song is really good, by the way. If you haven't listened to Kat's music, she sounds like you're walking into the forest on fairy dust. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, it is. Honestly, it could be like anyways, it could be like you could do a whole lo-fi playlist of your music, girl, for people to like work to during the day. I'm just saying, that's a business idea for another day. But yeah, sometimes these posts that are like, you've seen a million of these posts, haven't you guys? You guys follow music artists. You see people doing that all the time. And sometimes it just randomly hits. So being consistent in that kind of content, not just posting it once and then jumping to the next trend, but posting consistently to be like, is it actually this content idea? Or do I just need to be a little bit more consistent? Is the algorithm just not even putting my stuff on the FYP page? Is, the Instagram algorithm, girl, can't even figure that out. So we're not so the best thing that you can do is showing up consistently. And how do you know how to show up consistently if you're not looking at analytics outside of just views and likes? Did people comment on this? Did people share this? Did people save this? And if they did, why? you know? So it can be overwhelming if you have like 3,000 comments. That sounds crazy. That's probably like every time Kat opens the app, people are like talking to her. So limit it. Do like 30 minutes of it at a time. Don't feel like you got to respond to every comment and everything, because the video might be like in your top 10 performing posts each week. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. You can always go back. You can always, there are times where you don't have high performing posts. Go back and be like, maybe I didn't respond to all those comments. Little things like that. But thank you guys for sharing. I feel like you guys really, really kind of helped me hit home that like analytics are proof of what's working, and they are not there to overwhelm us. They are not there to hurt us. Hi, Kai, what's going on, girl? But they are really there to help us figure out like what is working, so we can double down on what's connecting with people instead of starting over every week, trying new things, trying new trends, doing whatever, the influencers say is the best. So, um, Now let's talk about how to spot hidden winners. So, what a hidden winner looks like is, again, posts that immediately get views, immediately get likes. It's like, okay, this is the hit. That worked. That's good. I want to keep that, right? Hidden winners are things that get shares, things that actually get saves. Your video could have 300 views, but does it have more saves than you actually get? Are people actually sharing it? It's not all about views. You can't control your views. All you can control is the quality of your content, how you show up, right? And I don't know if we said this last week, but if we didn't say this last week, I'm going to say it again. Instagram is really like the group chat where you should be showing up authentically in a relatable way that people can talk to you. So, whether this is you setting your phone down in the car, you going live with your messy room in the background, anything like that, you don't have to be all clean and polished. But looking at the saves, looking at the comments or the DMs, videos that are getting steady views over time, that stay in your top 10 highest performing content, right? It's like I posted this months ago. Why is this staying in my top 10 performing content? Even for me, if I were to look at my top 10 best performing content right now, I guarantee it's going to be some videos about music branding. It's going to be some videos about me talking about celebrity music artists. And there's going to be some, of my most recent videos that did well and everything. But those are the videos that did really well this year because branding is a new concept to a lot of music artists. For like everybody talks about marketing, nobody talked about branding. So when I started doing videos talking about branding, which is just one of like the 8 different things that go into music marketing, that took off. And I could have kept just talking about branding, but I am an artist manager. I'm not a branding specialist. I didn't work in the branding department for like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that didn't feel authentic to me. I could have blown up. Maybe I'd have 100,000 followers right now if I went live every day and just talked about music branding. I don't really care. Like, I'm not doing this for followers. I'm not. I am doing this for independent artists, for the independent community, right? So it's like you have to also like know that visibility is not everything. It's connecting with the right people. And so I have to look at what's valuable to y'all. What do you guys continue to learn from? What do I keep seeing? And so that is what made me do things like have a branding workbook. That's what made me do things like have a release plan. Because baby, every time I go live, I got people talking about how they got a song coming out on Friday, they got a song coming out in 2 weeks, and they don't know what they should be doing. Or people are always asking me, how long should I promote my song for? How long should I do pre-save campaign? How long should I do these things? The answer is, how much content do you have? How much connection do you have to this song? How much do you have to talk about, right? It's not a one size fits all. Every artist's journey is different. Every artist's goals are different depending on where they're at. If you have a show coming up, your goal is to get people to that show. If you have a single coming out, your goal is to get pre-saves or is to get, bring attention to your single. If you have new merch coming out, right? But if you're trying to do all of that, I got a show and I got merch and I got a single, it's giving chaos and it's giving nobody's looking at it and it's giving noise. It doesn't stand out. It's noise, right? Um in the comments, Amy Lynn said, I do not get the vibe of Insta. It's weird. TikTok feels so much more productive. It's because Instagram is the pick me app. Instagram doesn't know who it is. Instagram is trying to be every other app and do every other thing. But when you look at successful social media platforms, things like Facebook and Instagram, they're only successful because of how long they've been out. And because like when Instagram came out, it was like, oh my gosh, we're sharing pictures with people every day. That was new. That was new. Outside of Facebook, it was like, okay, I don't want all of the Facebook chats and everything. I want just to look at pictures. That was new in like 2012 or whenever that came out. And so now looking at videos on YouTube, YouTube has not had to change that much because if it ain't broke, you don't have to fix it, right? Instagram is always changing to compete with whatever is new and out. So success on there, it's really like that's the community app. That's when you find me, I'll see you on Instagram, right? Like y'all are in my close friends on Instagram. TikTok doesn't have that feature. Instagram is a community building app. It's about when people are there. But if you're trying to get people there, if you're trying to bring awareness, if you are trying to boost your visibility, TikTok and YouTube are more so for that. YouTube, it's going to take a longer time because it's not as trendy. When you jump on YouTube, your page has recommendations, just like when you jump on TikTok, your For You page has recommendations. That is why discovery is so big on those apps because it is constantly recommending things to you algorithmically. Instagram is trying to figure it out. They gonna have some posts from the people who you follow from 2 to 3 days ago. They gonna have some suggested posts of things that they think you might like. Like it's just all over the place, right? And the lesson that we can learn about that is you need to be clear and concise in order to be consistent. So if every time you think about making content, you trying something new every time, you're not looking at what worked. You're not looking at what connected. You're not looking at the audience that you are building. I don't care if it's 500 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 50,000 people. You have an audience. If you have been consistently posting content, then you need to be looking at what is connecting. Because if you are a music artist, your community, fan engagement and community building is the biggest marketing driver of 2025. And the way that I know that is from one of my past clients. Doja, she's using the community app. That's a mass text app. But it's just like a full circle moment. And then fast forward to 2025, and you're sending us all text messages for your rollout. You know why? Because fan engagement and connection to your community has never been more important. Because everybody is posting on social media. That's the next wave, is having a direct connection to your fan base. There's some artists that I find, they have 5 posts on their Instagram, they have no TikTok. I'm like, how the fuck did you build a following? But they probably built their following and then took their following and took ownership of their following and brought them over to like Patreon or something like that, where you have to pay me for my content type stuff. But that's, sorry, you guys, I get too far ahead. Anyways, the main focus is that fan engagement and community building is the main way to market your music in 2025. And it doesn't matter how big your community is. If you don't have a community, then our goal is to get that community. If you do have a community, then we need to be engaging and connecting with them. If you're engaging and connecting with them, you have their trust, then we need to think about the offers that we need to be giving to our community. We can't complain about our community not supporting us if we're not giving them any offers to do so, right? So that's what I say. It's like different levels, different devils, but there's different things that you should be doing that all have to be based in your community, based in looking at what you're doing previously and doing things consistently. So the main things that you want to look at, again, for your hidden winners, is you want to look at posts that get saves and shares, even if the likes are low. Posts that get saves and shares, content with consistent comments or DMs. Every time I ask my audience a question, I always get, a bunch of responses. Every time I, do a this or that and compare these two artists, I always Every time I do a cover and I do, like, if I had a verse on, I get steady views on that over time, right? So videos that get steady views over time, not just a spike, not just when I post. Every time I post it, it does well in the first, 20 minutes. So that's how I know I got a winner. It's like, babes. So do you guys know where to find your saved posts, your shares, and all of that? Does everybody know where to find those analytics? If you don't, it's okay. Let me know. And I can share my screen and show you. but it's on your phone too. Okay, cut it. We all know where the analytics are. All right. Amy, I think I do. Okay. All right. Um, Real quick, because I can get to it on my phone faster than I can get to it on there. So if you open up your Instagram, if you click on I have a business page, so I have a professional dashboard. If you do not have a business page, please change your music artist page to your business page. I look at my professional dashboard. It's going to look at views, interactions, followers, and the content that you shared. You're going to want to look at the content that you shared. So it's going to have the different content that you shared, and then it's going to have these different, like in the last 30 days, and this little switchboard. You want to click on the little switchboard right here, and you want to sort it by the highest accounts engaged. And then when you look at the highest accounts engaged, you can click on each video. I mean, you could do this. It doesn't even have to be the highest accounts engaged. I'm just telling you how to get like very laser focused. And then with the highest accounts engaged, it shows you at the top right here. It'll show you how many saves, how many shares. Now you can't see who saved it. You can't see who shared it, but it'll show you for everyone. So it's like, okay, this video, it did well. It got like, 4 saves and 3 shares, but we can go over to like a swipe post that I did that it only has 24 likes, but it got like 6, more shares and saves than the other post that got more views and likes. You see what I'm saying? So it's like looking at that to see like, okay, I have to keep doing carousels because y'all like it. I have to do little but that's my thing is that it tells you like, so instead of trying to do everything, like let's get very clear, let's get very concise. Let me focus on like 3 things because that's all I have time for. I'm gonna have time to do a carousel, and that can be like value based. I'm gonna have time to do a reel. It could be a little trending reel or something, and that could be like storytelling, talking about how I made my own 6-figure music company when I couldn't get nobody to pay me 6 figures in the corporate music industry. Like I just pulled that out the crack of my ass. I'm gonna make that video after that, after this session, okay? But like that's my thing. Like, just focus on if I want to build connection and if I want to do storytelling posts, how am I going to do that? If I want to talk about my music, but I want to do, value-based posts, how am I going to do that? I keep looking down because that's literally what I just did with my client, JZL the Empress, is like, I'm like, babes, you trying to do too much and be everywhere. We need to slim it down. Um, so if you book a one-on-one session with me, I'll personally do it, but I'm like, I'm talking too much. My ADHD is getting the best of me. I'm gonna tell you guys how to do everything and be everywhere, and then I'm gonna be the problem. So let's focus. But now that you know where to find your saved and your posts and everything, if you need help with TikTok, let me know. But it's the same thing. You're gonna go to your analytics everywhere and look at your posts individually, look at the content, and then you can look at the saves and shares. It won't be like in a overview type thing. Um, does anybody want a live audit of their analytics for a post or two? Anybody want me to look at their analytics? No lion's mane today. No, I took it. I just also drank coffee. And if you know anybody with ADHD, like coffee and uh, it's not good. It's not a good combination. But I needed to be awake. I needed energy. So I'm not mad. Um, but does anybody want me to take a look at their analytics? You can drop a link in the chat. I'll pick one. Just let me know and I got you. Could you show us? Okay. Showed you on Instagram. I can also show you on TikTok where you can find your analytics. Oh. What's going on? Kai, did you unmute on purpose? Huh? Guess not. Huh? Okay, no worries. Um, but if you look on your analytics and if you look at your content on TikTok, this is just showing from like the past 7 days. If you actually click on the video, then at the top it'll show you your saves. So I got 32 saves on that video and I got 2 shares. That's something for me to look at. Because it's I got a 10% like rate. I mean, for me, I would want to do that. That's my new signature series. I'm trying to promote it. So Lion's Mane coffee. Oh my gosh, yes, Robin hit me about that on the side. Did Robin say that or Rocky? No, yeah, it was Robin. Yes, hit me about that on the side for sure. But okay, you guys, I'm happy that we know where to look at analytics. I'm happy that we know that analytics are not our enemy. And I'm happy that what I really want to enforce is consistency. I want you guys to not reinvent the wheel every week, not think of different content concepts every week. And so, again, please join us in Discord. Join us for our visibility sprint that we are doing in Discord. If you weren't here at the beginning of our live, if you don't know where to find that, it's going to be in Discord in our tips and challenges. Every day I'm dropping a different prompt. And it's really simple. It's like, okay, do this content prompt, do this engagement prompt. Really easy, because I know that a lot of times you guys know the things, but like knowing how to execute it, knowing when to do it and everything, having something like this so that you can actually be consistent, it makes a huge difference. And then also engaging with this community of independent artists who actually are rooting for you and like like y'all, we're in this together. We are a team. So I'm making you guys engage with each other or engage with other independent artists, but that's helping your visibility as well. I'm not just giving you content prompts. I'm also making sure that you are engaging, because that is how you build a connection. That is how these algorithms get to know you. So if you don't know where to start, we're only on day 3 of the visibility sprint. And I'm literally every day just dropping a little prompt like this. Nothing crazy at all. But okay, y'all. Let's talk about how to remix the content that does work. So if you're looking at your analytics, if you are looking at the content that is your hidden winners, if you are finding like what's getting the saves and the shares or the comments and everything, let's brainstorm how to remix that into not just different formats, but how can we use the same message with a new hook? How can we turn the comments and the questions into like a spinoff, right? Because that's also really great too. A lot of times, y'all do not be in your comments. You're not responding to the people who are commenting. Or it's like sometimes the comments, you just replying to a comment, that's a video in and of itself. That could spark another conversation. So, does anybody have one post or video that you're proud of? Doesn't matter if it's the most viral or not, but just something that you like, that you can drop a link in the chat or describe it if you can't link it. And we can brainstorm 2 to 3 remix ideas of how we can use this concept that did connect, that did do what we need to do to inspire more content. So we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just doing what we already did in a new way. Oh my gosh, not everyone at once. Oh my gosh, the chat is just flooding.
I feel like I don't have a post. I feel like my post is stuck in like 400 view jail unless I start yapping. And the yap can have something to do with my music, but but weirdly enough, it's like my most simple music post does a little better. I have this post that I do where I'm like, hey y'all, I'm an artist from the Bay Area and I'm trying to build a following. Can you follow me? And I don't know. Like literally I just sit there and I lip sync. It's like literally nothing special.
Mhm.
So I don't know if maybe you want to look at that and be like, this is how you can kind of jazz it up, or if it's really just about doing it more often. Yeah.
I mean, that post works for the main purpose of building like visibility and awareness. It's what you supplement in between posts like that. So, doing a post like that is great, but a way for you to remix it is to do it the way that Kat sent with like photos, where she's essentially doing the same thing, but it's on just three pictures with with her song playing but doing the same thing, right? So if that works for the purpose of you being discovered by people, I don't want you to stop doing what's working. I want you to try it in different ways, try it in different ways. But outside of the posts that work for your visibility, are there any other posts that get you a lot of comments or that get you a lot of saves or shares or anything like that? Like hidden gems?
Let me take a look real quick.
Ooh, hold on. I need to turn on the AC, you guys. Give me 1 second. Pause. Ugh. Whew, it decided to get hot out of nowhere. My bad, y'all. But it's okay. If nobody has anything for us to remix right now, that is totally okay. But definitely take a look at your posts and not just look at the stuff that gets you views and likes. Look at what gives you saves and shares, comments or DMs, and what gives you steady views over time. And those are going to be the things where it's like, okay, this works. How can I do this in a different way? And like I said, it can be the same content in a different format. So if you usually do a short form video, doing it in a carousel or a swipe post. If you have a trendy hook that works, then maybe revising that hook to be about a different message or vice versa. If you have a great message that you like to talk about, maybe trying to do that message with a new hook. All right, Rocky, what's going on, girl?
I think I would ask. I have some videos. I have like a lot of different videos on my page, but ones that I see that typically do well are just ones of me singing. And usually when I sing, I'll sometimes I'll do covers, but then sometimes I'll do like my original music.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'll get like a lot of saves and comments with that, and I try to respond with like maybe another part of the song on the comment for another video, but I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you have any other advice for that or how to grow that in some way.
If there's a certain part of the song that is performing well, keep doing content to that part of the song. If you think about like Fly on a Boss, hello, Christ, I'm about to sit again. You know what I'm saying? Like they not only did that viral like video, but they did that same part of the song over and over and over. And even when it started going viral, they kept doing that. So that is kind of what you want to like get locked into someone's brain. You want it to be like, dang, what was that song? Because I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't like, oh, I can't get it out of my head. And the only way that you get stuck in someone's head is if you are presenting the same part of it. So if someone is saying that they like, a certain part of a song or something like that, you could do one-off videos highlighting like a bridge or a special part that people don't always get to hear because you are always doing the same part of the song.
Yeah.
So that could be a cool one-off. But my the best advice that I could give you is to just focus on just these three different things, which is connection. So that could be storytelling, all of that stuff. Even what you did today with like your BTS, I loved that post. Like that was great because it didn't feel like it just felt like we were a fly on the wall, like in the room during your rehearsal, you know? It wasn't making sure you had the best audio, making sure that the piano didn't drown you out. Like, if anyone's been in a rehearsal studio, you can't hear. Instruments are loud. Like, you can never hear someone's voice really like over the instruments. Like, the instruments do their job, okay? Like, they create music. So I loved that. And so it's like, doing things that help you connect in a consistent way, not just stuff that promotes your music, but stuff that builds connection and stuff that brings visibility. So, visibility is going to be trendy stuff, like, doing a trend that relates to what you're doing. It could even be a rant. Like a rant, like doing a random rant and stuff about like how unhinged it is to be a multifaceted creative where your job is creative and then also the career that doesn't pay you but that you want to do the most is creative. So it drains you, so there's different things that you can talk about that will connect with people in different ways. So the main thing, focus on connection, focus on visibility, and focus on music. You have to talk about music. We can't not talk about the music. Like, so whether it is you talking about all the songs from your mixtape era that are only available on SoundCloud that have never made it to streaming, if it's you going through your vault of all of the songs that are not finished or that, you need to do something else with, like, there's different creative ways for you to talk about your music other than just posting your cover art and telling us that the song is out now. So
Right.
that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me jump in the chat. Okay, so David has a post in here. Jazz with the S and the C has a post in here. And then Honey Gold Jasmine also has a post in here. So let me bring up your guys' posts.
My goal, limiting myself to no bread, no carbs, no sugar, no dairy, no fish, no alcohol. I'm hungry.
And that was you getting ready for the Beyonce concert. That pending post, David. How's your music career going? I don't think that was the one that you wanted us to remix or post. I think the other one was. But it's fun. It's honestly it's relatable humor. So let me go back to the other one though. Hold on. This one obviously relatable as hell, and it has to do with timing. So it's matched around the Cowboy Carter tour. You don't have like you don't even have a caption. All you have are like the hashtags for, Beyonce and all of that. And so it's just it was a great trend. It's a relatable POV. Everybody in February was getting ready for the Beyonce concert. So you used a trending audio, you used a text hook, you used a limited amount of hashtags, so it was very key and direct. So this going viral, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like 83,000 likes. Oh my goodness, right? But it's not going to translate into a following. It's not going to translate into people being interested in your music. It's just kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really remix this post because it was you doing a timely trend during a time that it worked. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you doing something that is music centered and music focused. Um, and it going up that way. Robin, I see your hand. What's up, Pooks?
I actually just thought of a question. Um, which I'm trying to figure out how to say. Okay, so you're looking at your analytics and like let's say I have one post that has a whole bunch of likes, but not a lot of shares. Another post which doesn't have any likes is the one that had a whole bunch but no shares, but has way more shares than that. post that has a bunch of likes, or one that has a bunch of saves as
Mhm.
opposed to others. Um, is there a correlation between that and whether that's connection content, visibility content, and there was a third one that I think you said that I missed? Is there a correlation to a post with more likes? What does that post? Or a post with more shares? What's that kind of post? Uh,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. So if you are looking at a post that has a bunch of likes, then that is going to be like, okay, every time that I want visibility and like awareness, I'm going to do posts like this. Like I'm going to put that content into my visibility and awareness bucket, right? Like that's what that brought. If you are looking at posts that got a lot of saves or shares, now I am looking at like value driven. Like this was valuable. People liked this. People learned from this. So if I want to provide value and connect to hopefully my target audience, hopefully you're not just posting to post, and hopefully it's to the people that love you down, then I'm going to do that. And when I went through the different posts where it was like connection, visibility, and music, I'm not talking about the different formats. What you're talking about are like, the different, like we're posting for different purposes and everything, right? So it's like when you look at a post and it does great for likes and it does great for views, that's visibility and awareness. If you're looking at something that gives shares and saves, that is a value driven post. And if you are looking at something that gets a lot of comments and DMs, then that is a connection. That's something that builds connection because it's building conversation, right? It is so easy for us to just tap a button and like something. It's even kind of, like sharing something. We have to like it enough to be like, oh my gosh, my homie needs to see this. Oh my gosh, my homegirl. Oh my God, saving something. All of those are just pushing buttons. Comments, that is connection. Like actually, like this post made you love it so much you had to say something to me. Okay. So it is something where it's like all of these hidden winners are drivers of different types of content that do different types of purposes for us. So even David doing something like this, he's a baby artist. He wants visibility, he wants people there. But if I were to post this and I don't have any other content that talks about my music or any other content that talks about my music artist journey, if you find me from this post and if you come to my page, are you going to follow? Are you going to look at my other stuff? Right? So that's why we have to post those things that are hidden winners that do those different types of drivers. But that's also why we have visibility and awareness month. Like, I'm not telling y'all not to do them, I'm just telling y'all how to post them, how to do a mix of them so that we get a good we're using social media as a tool and bringing in what we want to do and getting the people in here that we need. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, did I over answer your question?
That's very helpful. It's like we can look at the analytics and see all these different things, but if we don't understand what they mean, then it's kind of only going to help so much, you know.
No, for real, honestly. And that's why I love you guys talking to me on here. I hate it to be a TED Talk where I'm thinking I'm eating, providing you guys with this amazing advice, and then like nobody knows how to use it. Like, no. So, thank you guys for the questions. I really, really love it. Okay. So, looking at Jazz's post. So, Jazz, 5 reasons I'm reinventing myself. If you've been thinking about starting over, this is your sign. So, looking at 5 reasons that I'm reinventing myself. If you're thinking of starting over, this is your sign. And this is about Bloom with Me, personal growth development, music journey, and reinvention. Sorry, I have to look at the post first before I tell you how to remix it. But I love these images. I love the images. I love the colors. I love the consistency. So few things. Why is the typography, like the coloring of the typography is changing on every photo? We want to be consistent with that. Also for a title font, we want to make sure that the title font is like really legible. I'm looking at this at a computer, but if I was looking at this on a phone and I saw a font that small, like just looking on your profile, I might not click the post because I can't read it. You know what I'm saying? So doing things like that, also being very clear and concise. If you have something that is kind of long, like a long, my bad, I pressed play. If you have something that is like a long title on your video, try to use a font that like is a little bit more condensed, a little bit smaller so that you can fit everything that you want to say on there, but it doesn't look like I have a paragraph or 3 lines of text. What you're saying on here is great. Um, Again, these titles could probably be a little bit bigger, but the imagery is really it for me. I love it.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're welcome, Pooks. If you were to do this again as like a video, I think you are the kind of person who it wants to do faceless content. So the way that you could do
Um,
it.
sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm not. It just I realized like I started posting like I took a time off, like a whole year off, and I'm just posting, trying to like redo everything. And it just I realized that it's like I haven't showed my face and it's not intentional. So
Okay.
I realized that as I was posting, like, dang, I'm not showing my face, but I actually don't care. Like I care to show my face. I'm not trying to hide my identity or anything like that.
Listen, baby, you hide your face so much. I thought it was the brand. I thought it was a part of it. So I wasn't asking no questions. I was just like, okay, she doesn't want to show us her face. That's okay. You know.
No, it wasn't intentional.
But thank you for clarifying. I mean,
Yeah.
and even doing that, you could like if you want to take this idea of like 5 reasons that I'm reinventing myself, you can do a B-roll video where you keep these 5 reasons and where you do a voiceover. So what we're seeing you do in the video, it could be the same things. It could be journaling. It could be you taking a seat by the window. It could be you in the studio, you know, like or even at your desk working at your own setup and everything. So just taking what you're doing in these videos, showing it to us IRL, keeping the same, you know, prompts on here, just making those little font, you know, adjustments or whatever that I talked about, and then
Yeah.
just talking us through them. So, because this did, you know, it got comments, it got likes, and if you're a baby artist starting on a brand new page, then that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that. And let me make sure that I follow you. My bad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Um, okay, you guys, we are at 1 o'clock, so that's all the time that I have for when it comes to looking at examples and remixing. Um, but what I want you guys to do this week so that you guys can create a repeatable system is I want you to identify 3 to 5 content formats that do well for you, right? So you're already going to be looking at your analytics. You're going to be looking at your saves and shares. You're going to be looking at your comments. And then we can't avoid looking at the views and the likes, you know? And also on TikTok, you can also look at what content got people to follow you as well. So that's another thing to look at. But when you look at that, look at the content formats that do well, that performed the best, and rotate them weekly for consistency. So, for connection, a content format that is always going to do well to build connection is storytelling. Storytelling is a great way to connect. Robin, I'm sure there's stories that you can tell us about being on RuPaul's Drag Race or about trying to be a music artist while also dealing with that, you know? I love a good I fucked up, y'all story. Like as the hook, like talking like and then telling us how like you didn't actually fuck up, you know what I'm saying? But like, being like, I messed around, got on this TV show, have this huge following, and have 4 songs to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, like where it's like you didn't really fuck up, babes. You're just in the beginning of your music artist journey. But storytelling, that is always going to be a great format to build connection. And you can do different types of storytelling. It can be rants, it can be confessionals, it can be, different things like that. Music. If you are talking about your music, does anybody in your family know your music? If you were to FaceTime them right now and tell them, like, gun to their head, sing one of your songs bar for bar, is it happening? Do they know it? You know what I'm saying? So, like doing a series like that where you catch like your friends or your cousins off guard and you're just FaceTiming them and being like, what's your favorite Rocky Leonard song right now? And then it's like, oh, I get like, like that is funny. And just being like, and like, you could just be like, it be your own friends, it be your own family, like, so that is so relatable. So that is a fun way of you are talking about your music, right? Because like you're trying to have them sing a song or guess a song. You are talking about your artist journey because it's rough out here as an independent artist. Yo, mama don't even know your top single. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be rough out here. It can be rough getting the people around you to support you, right? So that is a way to not only promote your music, but it also brings value to other independent artists. They feel seen, they don't feel as isolated. They're in this, right? And then personality driven. Like Amy said, everybody loves rants, okay? So that is how you show your personality. It can be you just going off on us. It could be you, if you're on Instagram, sharing a mix of like the aesthetic photos with memes or with crash out things that are related to your song or related to whatever you took those photos for, right? It could be I'm looking at some of my ideas from earlier because they're actually pretty good. I had an artist saying making music my priority because she works at a studio and she hasn't recorded music in almost 2 years, you guys. She works at a studio. I'm about to throw my like legal pad through the thing. Like what? But
It
that's
be
how it
like
is.
that.
That's listen, okay? As a creative, you think having a creative 9 to 5 is only gonna get better. No, you're gonna do all of the work and all of your creative juices are gonna be for the job that pays you and not the career that you want to invest in. But baby, the grass is green where you water it. So if you're not watering your music career, don't be mad that it's not flourishing, okay? So sorry, I can get on my I can get on rants all day, but you're not only looking at your analytics, you are identifying 3 to 5 content formats that always do well for you. And then you want to rotate them. Let's rotate them for consistency. If we know what works, okay, let's rotate them and keep remixing those hidden winners. If the hidden winners didn't get the visibility that you wanted to, do you need to have a better hook? Do you need to change the font on your video? Do you need to be more clear and concise and stop trying to say too much or stop trying to be all cute in the headlines and just say what it is? Call a spade, right? So I don't care if it's reels, TikToks, carousels, mini vlogs. I want you guys to look at your content, look at your analytics, identify 3 to 5 content formats that always do well for you, and then build a plan on how you're going to rotate them weekly, right? And if you need some help, join the visibility sprint. I'm dropping content prompts and engagement prompts every single day, okay? So, review your posts, find your hidden winner that's not based on likes, but it's based on saves, shares, and comments. And then if you want to be special, you could tell us how you're going to remix it. But I care more about the work. I care more about you guys identifying your formats. If you have questions about like these are the posts that did the well, I do not know what format this is. These are the posts that did well, jazz. I do not know why it did well, right? Then please, y'all, I'm gonna share my screen again because y'all don't be using this Discord and I need you to. That is where you come to Q&A. That is where if you have support and questions, right? Drop them. Drop the questions that you have in here. That's what these are made for. The supporting questions is more so like if the website is fucking up, if someone told me a video, the audio cut off after 20 minutes, like that's where you ask those questions like about your membership. But if you have actual questions about like, Jazz, I have questions on the homework. Jazz, I don't know what format this is. Drop those in Q&A. Okay? Tips and challenges, that's where we're doing the visibility sprint. That's all we're doing in there. Is in tips and challenges this month is the visibility sprint. Rocky, go ahead. What's your question, babes?
Where does the homework go? I was like trying to turn it. I was like, where does it go in the Q&A, or where does that go?
I usually have the homework be dropped in tips and challenges just because that is where we talk the most, and that's where I'm like, and I can actually give you tips on your homework and everything. But yes, if you are completing the homework, drop it in tips and challenges as well. Great question. Does anybody else have any other questions about the Discord? I'm gonna give you a crash course real quick. Welcome. This is the no conformity Discord. If you first come in, there's the welcome chat. This is all just information about it. Membership growth, that's where you can share your wins. This is where, Glamma tells us about radio play. If you have a post that did really well, I don't care, big or small. I want the wins. Peer feedback. If you have new music coming out, new cover art, new drops. This is where you share it for peer feedback. I don't care if it's not out yet. Use an untitled link. Like, we are here to help each other. You don't have to keep dropping music into the void, into the abyss, but we can't support you if we don't know about it. So let us know about it, right? Tips and challenges. Y'all know what it is. That's where your homework goes. That's where when we do challenges, we're talking and I'm providing tips. Q&A, if you have questions about any of the stuff that we are talking about, this is where I want y'all questions. You know what I'm saying? If I don't respond to them immediately, they might even be included in the next live stream that I do. So that's for member growth. Just for us to hang out. This is general chat. Amy was like, are we on Zoom today? I answered her. You guys talking about whatever you are listening to, that goes in the community hangout. Collabs and networking. If I don't have your IG, if you're not in my close friends, it's because you have not dropped it in this chat and I don't know you. And then last but not least, exclusive content. Every time that I post a replay, I tell you here, resources and tools. Sometimes when I just post on YouTube, this isn't a bot. It tells you guys, like, Jazz just posted on YouTube. So my bad about that. But things like I just posted fucking 4 one sheet examples in the Discord last week. This is for a producer, Camper, that I worked with. This is Doja's one sheet. This is Zaya's one sheet. This is a rapper's one sheet that I worked on, right? So I did not put that on my website because I don't want those niggas to know that I'm sharing their one sheets. Okay? But it's in the Discord. Like, that's where I'm being a little sneaky snake. Okay? I even shared like someone had reached out to me and was just sharing their music. So I shared an example of how to pitch yourself as an artist in the Discord and everything. And then events and reminders. This is every time that we have new events coming up and you need to like RSVP or something, this is where I'm going to tell you. All of the events for August were posted August 1st. Right here, it takes you to that Luma page that I showed you. This is actually like my Luma profile. It's like, this is what Jazz is hosting. These are all her past events, right? So crash course on the Discord. Thank you guys. Everybody's still here. I thought everybody was going to be gone right now because we went over 1 o'clock, but the gang is here. Any questions about homework? Any questions before I let you guys go? And no, Mama, you gave the gems. Thank you. Thank you, Kai. Hey Jazz, would you create a one sheet for a single release? I would not, it depends. Is this your first single that you've ever released? Are you using this one sheet to pitch yourself to PR, press, or to music programmers? Like, what do you need the one sheet for? Um, yeah, that's basically it. How far along are you on in your journey, and what would you need the one sheet for? Do not do extra work. Like, don't just create a one sheet for no reason, right? But it makes sense. It just depends on where you are in your journey. Jasmine, can I ask for a song opinion on the Q&A, like non-content related? Um, for a song opinion, do that in like what you're listening to, and we can do song opinions. Kat, thank you. I'm happy that I was helpful. Thank you guys for your questions. But yes, here's the thing. Success is not about going viral. It's about building a rhythm. Like, as a music artist, you guys need systems and you need support so that you can be sustainable, so that y'all can do this. And whether a label comes and partners with you and helps you, or whether you have to do this alone for the rest of your life and you are playing intimate venues and you just have a supportive community of people who just every time you drop something, they eating it up, they buying your merch, they're at your shows, you open a fucking bread shop, they're ordering your sourdough starter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to build with y'all. So the more that you repeat what works, the more the algorithm learns who to push you to, and the more that your audience knows what to expect. And so that's how you can stay visible without burning out. Am I saying do the same content for the next 5 years? Of fucking course not, right? Like, of course not. Like, just like you change, we change, our attention spans change, and marketing strategies change, right? But you also don't have to do different strategies every month, every week, right? Like, okay. So before we wrap, I want everyone to drop one word in the chat that sums up how you're feeling about analytics after today's workshop, and we will go. Let me know. Just drop one word. Clarified. Yes, Angie. Clarity. Let's go, Robin. Inspired. Yes, Kat. Ready. Okay, Jazz. Confident. That's what I'm talking about, Rocky. Knowledge. Thank you, Reem. You've been silent this whole time. I forgot you was here. Nisha, obtainable. Yay. Amy Lynn, curious. Okay. Listen, better than shooketh in your boots. Kai, motivated. That's what I like to hear. All right, y'all. That's it. I'm gonna jump off. Thank you guys all so much. Jasmine, I'm happy that you're inspired. Until next week, please be in the Discord. Okay? Please. If you're not in my close friends on Instagram, let me know. Okay? Um, and yeah, until next time, just stay tuned with Jazz. Thank you guys. Bye.